Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. My name's Jason and thanks for watching. Today I have this awesome ginormous fridge. This is a 80 quart 12 volt compressor fridge, so no ice needed if you're gonna go camping. You just bring along a simple small battery pack and you're good to go, even solar panels, and you can charge that up and basically have refrigeration forever. So this video is gonna be talking about this Newair 80 quart 12 volt compressor fridge. It's brand new to the market, and they reached out, they wanted me to check it out, see if it's a good fridge. So let's test it out, let's test the power consumption, see how it stands up against any other fridge that I've reviewed in the past, and let's see if it's something that I would recommend to my viewers. So we're gonna dive in and show you all the features of this Newair 80 quart 12 volt compressor fridge. Stay tuned if you wanna learn more. Let's go ahead and do a quick rundown on the specifications for the Newair 80 quart 12 volt compressor fridge. I opened it up and saw that it had the LG BSA 025 LC compressor. It's a good brand name compressor powered by LG. It weighs 49 pounds and has an 80 quart capacity with 2 zones. So you have a zone that's completely separate than the other zone, and you can control the temperature separately in each zone. Pretty awesome. Continuing with a little bit more in-depth specifications. If you have the fridge set at eco mode, it pulls about 40 watts. If you have the fridge set in max mode, it pulls 89 watts. And at idle, when the compressor is not running, it pulls about 1 watt of power. Looking at the outside dimensions of this fridge, it's 37.5 inches long. It's right around 18.5 inches tall, and it's 21 inches deep. Okay, here's everything that comes in the box with the fridge. Right here we have your AC to DC adapter. This is a 90 watt power supply, allows you to power it off a wall outlet or a generator. Here you have your 12 volt power adapter. This cable is pretty long and it allows you to power off a portable battery or using it in your vehicle while driving. Over here you have a registration card for the warranty and this awesome support card that tells you about their email support, their phone support, and they also have website support. If you go on, you can chat with anybody about any of their products on their website. And the final thing over here is the owner's manual. It talks about in detail every feature of the fridge and does a really good job explaining that. I would also like to mention when I did reach out to their support group using their phone number, the email support, and the chat on their website, I always had a good experience. I never had any issues of them not getting back to me, and I always spoke with someone actually in the United States, so I thought that was pretty awesome. There wasn't ever issues with this fridge itself, but I just wanted to test out their support and see if they knew about the product, knew the specifications, knew about troubleshooting. And I always had a good response from them, so I definitely would give their support group a thumbs up. Okay guys, at the beginning of the video I showed you some of the features, and now I just want to dive in a little bit deeper about the features of this fridge and just take a few minutes. One of the first things I love about this fridge is it has the dual zones. So it's 2 separate compartments and each zone is completely configurable per the temperature on the touchscreen. So if I wanted this side to be 0 degrees and wanted this side to be 50, I could just easily set those 2 and I have 2 separate zones. So a lot of fridges don't have the dual zone capability, and that's what's awesome about this large fridge. The other thing that sticks out about this fridge that isn't found on many other fridges are reversible lids. So if you want to change the orientation of this lid opening, you just set it vertical, pull straight up, and then you can put it in on this side. So why would it be important to have reversible lids? Well, this is a large fridge and you don't want to have to move it around all the time, or say it's in the truck bed and, you know, it opens up this way, but this is next to the, you know, the edge of the truck bed. So you can easily flip the lid around and have it open on this side so that you don't have any issues accessing the food or anything like that. So these reversible lid designs are pretty awesome. So looking inside each compartment, you'll actually see a storage basket. Now the storage basket is a great feature because this is such a large fridge, and when you load it down with food, it can be above 100 pounds. And so what you want to be able to do is move the fridge without having all that weight in there. So if you quickly just take the food basket out, set it aside, both of them, then it allows you to move the fridge itself at a much lighter weight, and then you can easily, put the basket back in. So great idea to have the baskets in here. And the baskets also provide a little extra protection for the inside of the fridge in case you drop something heavy in there. The basket will absorb most of the blow of that. At the bottom of each of these compartments is a drain plug. So it's pretty awesome to have that on this fridge here. It allows you to easily clean out the inside of the fridge without having to tip this upside down or sideways. Like I said, it's a large fridge. So any way to add convenience to this is pretty awesome. So both drain plugs allow you to easily clean out the fridge without having any issues moving around the fridge. And also, just talking about the exterior, what's nice is it has this padded handle that extends out so you can easily roll it. You can take these two here and just pull out, and it extends all the way out, and then it clips in so it locks in. And then it has the wheels on both sides, so it kind of reminds me of one of those larger Igloo ice chests, except for it has all the technology of being a 12-volt compressor fridge. So extend the handle, roll it around where you want it to be, and then you can fold the handle back up, and it takes up much less space than if the handle was extended. That's everything about the fridge here. I like the plastic construction. It doesn't dent. It may scratch a little bit, but it also tends to be a little bit lighter than a metal encased fridge. So having the plastic allows it to be much lighter because of the size. Let's go ahead and take a deeper look at the control panel and the features on that. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the display. I love how it has this USB port for charging your portable devices right here, and it has this nice rubber cover so dust and grime stay out of there. It has both temperature displays. So if you look here, this icon shows that the white area is for the large compartment. So this is the temperature of the large compartment, and the smaller one here is the temperature for the smaller compartment. It has a voltmeter built in, which is amazing because most fridges don't have voltmeters. So it's pretty awesome to have that right here on the display. You know what your battery's sitting at. It's currently running off the AC adapter, but this would be a great feature if you were running off a battery. You can see it's still cooling down. I just powered this up. But if I wanted to change any of these settings, I have these buttons here. Now, you just notice there that the fridge has this self-locking feature. If I want to unlock the settings, I press and hold this here, and you can see it unlock. And then I'm free to change the temperature. So if you push the plus and minus, you're able to change the temperature in the big zone. If you want to change it in the small zone, you tap the setting button once, and then you can change the temperature there. So I have this one set at 15 and this one set at 35. If I want to change it from eco to max mode, I just tap the settings button, and then you can see it change from max mode to eco mode. And once it stops flashing, it saves. Looking here, I have this little L. That means I have the battery protection on low. If I want to change that, I press and hold the settings button. And then I can tap it again, and you can see it go to medium or high and back to low. I like to leave it at low just so the fridge will always run, and then it's my responsibility to know if the battery voltage is too low. You have the power button right here. You just click and hold if you want to turn the fridge off. Overall, I like this display. It's very responsive, very easy to understand what's going on here. Overall, it's a great design on this touchscreen display. Let's go ahead and take a look inside the fridge showing both compartments. It's awesome. Each side has its individual LED light. You can see here and here. Also, just a quick glance here, there's a nice thick rubber gasket that seals up with the inside of this, so you get a really nice airtight seal. Anytime you're working with a fridge like this, be very careful if children are around, because if a small child got in here, it's airtight and you could run into that issue of suffocation. Please keep children away from these fridges. Now looking at this side, you can see this is the full size compartment, and this side is the same dimensions lengthwise and widthwise, but the depth is not as deep because there's a shelf here, and under here is where the compressor sits, so you can't get a full size compartment on this side. Most people will use this side for the freezer and this side for the fridge because they have more refrigerated items. Now to the dimensions of each compartment, it's about 15 inches wide this way. and about 12.5 inches this way. The large compartment's about 13.5 inches deep. The smaller compartment's about 5.5 inches deep. Okay, so I threw some food items in here so you can see just how things fit, give you a little reference for how big this fridge is. Now, it's kind of funny because some fridges are just as big as this one side, and then you just add this ginormous size over here. So this is really indeed a huge fridge. And you got to remember, there is no ice needed. So if you had a cooler this big or an ice chest this big, you would have to have this thing completely filled with ice to keep food in it from spoiling. So that's the nice thing about these 12-volt coolers. So you don't have to have ice, so you get a lot more usable space. So I have this 18 egg carton sitting perfectly between the sides here. You could fit 2 of those on top of each other, wouldn't have any issues. You can see the soda can stands up perfectly, no issues with the lid clearance. You can fit a buttload of soda cans in here. Water bottle and Gatorade both have to be on their side. They're too tall to stand up on this side. Moving over to this side, I have a 1 gallon milk carton down there. You could fit 4 of those and still have room to spare along this edge here. So just shows the massive size of this 80 quart 12-volt fridge and how useful it would be. You could easily feed 2 people for weeks on this fridge, and a large family for at least a week. So pretty awesome. I'm very happy with how much I can fit inside this fridge. For every fridge I review, I like to do a sound test so you guys can hear what it sounds like from really close to it or about 3 feet away. Let's go ahead and see what it sounds like. Now from about 3 feet away. Overall, this fridge isn't loud at all. I don't think it'd bug anybody if they had to sleep near the fridge. Wouldn't keep them up at night. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about my favorite part about testing these fridges, is the actual power consumption that they consume over a given time. Now, each of these fridges are slightly different in the amount of power they use, and this one's a very insulated fridge, so I actually expect this one to do pretty well. I like to test it at 2 different temperature levels, a 70-degree ambient test and an 85-degree ambient test. Now, the 85-degree ambient test is more of a realistic number for if you actually take this camping in the summer. If you put it in the shade, it's around 85 degrees on a hot summer day, so that should give you pretty accurate results for the power consumption that it should use during a camping trip. Now, before I go and jump into those numbers, I want to explain how power consumption works on this. And all these fridges, these 12-volt compressor fridges, basically when the compressor runs, it pulls a given number. So this fridge pulls 40 watts. So if the compressor ran 100% of the time, the max power consumption you would get is an average of 40 watts. Well, the compressor doesn't run all the time, so what happens is it cycles off and the fridge doesn't pull any power for a given amount of time, and then it turns back on to cool down the compartments. So you end up getting a really efficient number because these compressors don't cycle all the time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 70-degree ambient test results. At 70 degrees, the fridge pulled 505 watt hours over 48-hour duration of the test. So if we take that 505 watt hours divided by 48, it gives us an average power usage of 10.5 watts. This is a very efficient number for the size of fridge, and I expected it to be efficient, so I'm pretty happy with that 10.5 watts average. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 85-degree ambient test. During that test, it pulled a total of 765 watt hours. That test lasted for 30 hours, so if we divide the 765 by 30, it gives us an average of 25.5 watts. That's a very efficient number. This is pretty normal to see the power consumption go about double when you jump up to 85-degree ambient. It's basically the same on any other fridge I've tested. Very happy with these numbers, especially for how large this fridge is. This is the largest fridge I've tested, and I've seen other fridges that have used more power than this. So this is a very efficient fridge, and you should be very happy with the power consumption for this model. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to do was to talk about this really cool feature here that I saw. In the owner's manual, it does mention this solar input port here. And if you look here, there's like this compartment that you can take off. And so this compartment seems to be a lithium battery storage area. So it has these pins in here that look very similar to a laptop battery, kind of like what you'd see with a lithium laptop battery. So I can imagine you could put maybe a 200 to 350 watt hour size battery in here, and you'd be able to charge it off this solar input be a pretty cool feature. Now I reached out to the marketing group. They weren't able to give me any specifics on, this setup. They mentioned to me the only model that's for sale is the part that does not have the battery built in. But I did take this panel off to reveal the compressor, the LG compressor inside, and I did see some sort of solar charge controller module that had these wires go into a module and then went into the compressor module. So this does seem to be functioning. So if I had a battery, this would just work. So I have a solar panel that would plug into this and be a fairly interesting setup. So it'd be awesome to have the battery for this. I just don't have any additional information. So stay tuned. Maybe reach out to Newair, ask them yourselves. I bet in a couple months they might have more information on an additional battery you can put in here. Well guys, that basically sums up everything I wanted to talk about with this fridge. I've been very impressed with this Newair fridge, not only with the fridge itself, but with the company. Like I said, I've reached out before and I tried to contact their phone number. I emailed them, I went on their website and chatted with them. Every single time I was able to get a hold of someone and they were able to help me with either, answering questions about this. And, that's just something you don't see with these fridge brands. Many of the cheap fridges off Amazon, they say they offer a warranty, but there's no support. You go and buy one of those cheap fridges and there's absolutely no support. You can return the product to Amazon and that's basically your only option. But with something like this, with this Newair company located in California, you have the ability to go out and, if you have an issue, you can reach out to someone, you could talk to someone on the phone. And what a great opportunity it is for a company to make a quality product and support it for people that are going to go out and buy it. Pretty happy with that. The build quality on this is very good. I didn't feel that there's anything really cheap. I think the only thing that I don't like that might not be super long lasting would be just these handles. I know you have the really nice extending padded handle for moving around, but man, I worry a little bit about these handles here. I just feel like they're a little bit cheap, but everything else on the fridge, the lids, all the features, the cool feature about the solar input as a possibility in the future. LG compressor, good brand name compressor, everything's good there. Very power efficient. So overall, I'm very happy with this fridge. I definitely would recommend this to anybody that's looking for a large dual 80-quart compressor fridge. Now, there's a lot of people that want a lot of space, and so this fridge definitely has a lot of space to offer. It's very efficient. So anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love reviewing these fridges. It's pretty awesome to check out all the new things coming out. This is a brand new fridge from Newair. I'll put their website in the video description below. Feel free to check it out. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.